everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajua and I hope this video finds you well. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support and welcome back. So in the spirit of the upcoming Eid, I have 10 fragrances that I believe are going to make you stand out from the crowd. You know, when it comes to fragrances and my Middle Eastern or Muslim brothers and sisters, you do not have to even compete with them because they are laying all the cards out. In this video, I have 10 amazing fragrances that puts me in festive vibes. Some of these fragrances are also quite Middle Eastern in nature. When I think about Ramadan, when I think about Eid, festivities, you know, the food, the drinks, the party, you know, that very conservative yet very elegant parties that they have after Ramadan, I think about some of these fragrances, you know. And when you really want to stand out in a Muslim party, you need to really show up, because trust me, they are not playing. You know, if you have ever been to a Muslim party, every single person smells amazing. The ouds, the spices, smelling great and filling up rooms. You need to really show up. So in this video, I have 10 of such fragrances that I believe are going to make you stand out from the crowd. The very first fragrance here is going to be Shaghaf Oud Tonka by Swiss Arabian. It gives me a spicy, nutty cookie dough feel. If you want to blend in seamlessly or even stand out in this festive period, you know, where there's going to be a lot of competition, everybody's going to smell scrumptious, delicious, the food is also going to fill in the air, I think you have to try out the Shaghaf Oud Tonka. Not only will this be noticeable in the midst of all the aroma in the air, you're also going to smell delectable, nutty, creamy, cookie dough. You know, you feel like you are in the festive vibes. You are most likely also going to get some compliments. So in this festive season, I'm going to highly recommend Shaghaf Oud Tonka by Swiss Arabian. Nothing smells festive and Middle Eastern than Abraaj Carmine by FA Paris. This is amazing. It has pink pepper, which is spicy. It has some cinnamon, which is also, you know, spice, a warm spice. Some heavy rose and honey, making it much more intense. Nobody is going to miss this smell on you. You know, it fills up a room. You need to be a little careful when you spray this one because it is very potent, you know, very spicy, intense, very thick, rich. That honey comes through the pink pepper, the spices, the sweet, delicious gourmand touches that this one has is amazing. So if you want to make an impression with your Muslim friends, or even if you are the host and you wear this one, a lot of people are going to compliment you, and it will just put you in the right festive mood. The next fragrance on this list is going to be by Zaafaran, and this is going to be Ahubbak Love in Paris. This is for the more conservative person. It's not as spicy, it's not as room filling. However, not everybody, you know, is into very pungent, strong, you know, fragrances. I'm very sure there are people who might be more conservative and want to do something quite minimum. So this is going to be Ahubbak Love in Paris. It is not overbearing at all, but you still get that delicious, fluffy marshmallow at the background, coupled with that black currant, the berries, the juicy orange mandarin in this one, orange blossom. It is beautiful. It is predominantly a fruity, berry-like, you know, smell with some rose, you know, touches to it. Somehow it gives me atomic rose vibes. So just imagine atomic rose, or from the one that I have, which is going to be infinite rose. Just imagine infinite rose, dial back on the rose, and then give it much more of the berries, and that is when you get Ahubbak Love in, you know, Paris. It doesn't have the note of rose, but it gives me something quite rosy, you know, like a pink, delicate rose, coupled with that very delicious berries and orange, you know, blossom and some vanilla. It is very beautiful, you know. It fits in perfectly if you want to really smell delicious, scrumptious, and be in that, you know, festive mood for this Eid. So I'll highly recommend Ahubbak Love in Paris by Zaafaran. The next fragrance on this list is going to be the OG Khamrah by Lattafa. This one has that date, that cinnamon, that, you know, spicy honey, dialed back on the cognac. You know, you don't get much of that boozy cognac in this one. It puts me in the mind frame of a Muslim party. I know date is quite a staple when it comes to Middle Eastern or, you know, Islamic foods. You know, I know a lot of Muslim friends who really are into dates, and for some reason whenever I see dates I think about my Muslim friends, because they are the people I usually see enjoying dates, you know, for the most part. And this one has a very high dose of the date. It is very scrumptious, delicious, spicy cinnamon, you know, that sort of, you know, festive vibes that this one puts me in. It doesn't only remind me of, you know, Christmas, it just reminds me of festive vibes in general. So why not Khamrah, you know? And everybody also seems to love this one. I think you are really going to stand out from the crowd if you have this one on for this coming Eid. You know, aside fragrances, Middle Eastern cuisine is one of the best I have come across. When my Muslim friends, you know, even here locally, when they cook for you and you taste it, it is so delicious. Like, I love me Muslim rice, you know, rice and stew. They have a way of doing it which is very, you know, addictive. You know how to blend in spices, put things together to make something quite unique. And just imagine, after indulging in that deliciousness, they come around and they serve you with some blueberry yogurt. And that is when this fragrance, you know, comes in. This is super delicious, scrumptious, and this is going to be Blueberry Max by Arabiyat Prestige. It doesn't necessarily give me like a realistic blueberry drink. It gives me like a blueberry sort of yogurt, you know, with that tangy sourness of the natural or fresh yogurt, you know, with the blueberries, you know, just chunky in it. That is what this one gives me. It gives me like, you know, a high quality sort of dessert. It's very delicious, very scrumptious. It's very festive in my opinion. You get that delicious blueberries, you get that delicious black currants, you get that raspberry, that vanilla, a hint of Musk, very beautiful. It smells very festive, but not like anything you cannot wear on a daily basis, you know. So for this festive occasion, this is one unique fragrance that I would highly recommend. My Perfume's Arabiyat Blueberry Musk. If you want to be the center of attention, I would highly recommend Oud Al Layl by My Perfume's Arabiyat. I have noticed that this particular scent profile is quite a common one around the Middle East, especially in Dubai. That is what I know. It's not like something that is too uncommon to smell. When you step out, you smell this scent profile quite a lot, so it is nothing new. But I think it is quite new to a lot of us who are outside the Middle East, you know. But it's nonetheless a very beautiful one. If you have Middle Eastern friends or Arabian friends and you want to sort of, you know, remind them of home, I would highly recommend that you wear this around them. You know, this one will give them a sense of home. It is the quintessential rose oud combo, and this one has some very candid violets, you know, sugary sort of, you know, candid violets in this one too. It smells and it screams Middle East. So if you want to really make an impression, remind your Arabian friends about home, especially if they are outside the Middle East, I'll just say go for Oud Al Layl. It's to just, you know, bring back some very positive memories, and I'm sure you're also going to love this one. You know, it will give you a totally different vibe from the normal, you know, everyday fragrances you are used to. Amethyst by Lattafa is one of the best fragrances I have come across, you know, in terms of fragrances in general. It gives me a Middle Eastern vibes. It's the rose and oud combo. It has like candied rose in it, plus some delicious bergamot, plus a sliced kanki agarwood. It is quite different. It might not be an everyday for most people, but if you really want to assimilate into the Middle Eastern culture, Middle Eastern sort of, you know, festive mode, I would highly recommend that you try out Amethyst by Lattafa. If you already have this one, it would be a good occasion to, you know, bring it out for this Eid festivities, because not only are you going to smell great, I'm sure you're going to get some compliments. You might even stand out from a lot of fragrances. I know there will be a lot of competing fragrances, but Amethyst will make you, you know, sort of stand out because it is quite potent. It fills up a room. It is delicious smelling. It also has rose, which makes it quite feminine. So it's a win-win, you know, for the most part. You're not going to offend anyone, you know, because the crowd that you might likely be around already is used to this sort of, you know, scent profile. So I would highly recommend Amethyst by Lattafa for this festive, you know, Eid that we're going to celebrate. I know I'm going to definitely be going out on the Eid day, which is going to be on the 10th of April, and I can't wait to wear one of these fragrances, you know, because I want to really make an impression. I might even combine a few of these, maybe 2 or 3 of these fragrances, just to have the wow factor, because, you know, I need to really show up because nobody's going to play when it comes to Eid. So why not? Amethyst is a very great choice, you know, when you want to really stand out, make an impression, get some compliments, smell delicious, delectable. Why not? The next fragrance I have here came in as a surprise to me. I unfortunately do not have it in the full bottle, but this is going to be Nayal Queen by Arabiyat Prestige House. This is so Middle Eastern to me. I have so many thoughts about Nayal Queen by Arabiyat. I have so many amazing thoughts to share, but honestly, for this festive vibe, this one might be one of my top 3, you know, recommendation when it comes to going out for the Eid, because This fragrance hands down encapsulates Islam to me. There is something about it that reminds me of Middle East, you know. It's supposed to have this sort of lemony, vanilla, sweet orange blossom, you know, very delicious gourmand, really touches to it. That is what I get. But it also has this very amazing, smooth, incensey vibes, which reminds me of a musk. You know, it feels very musk to me, very sort of religious. It feels like something, you know, like an incense that you would burn, coupled with that delicious vanilla, smooth, the most beautiful incense forward fragrance I have ever come across. Honestly, it's very beautiful. I feel like it embodies Middle East. There's something very sophisticated, very polished, very Middle Eastern about it. It puts me in the mind frame that I'm in a very opulent mosque, you know, somewhere in the Middle East, somewhere in Bahrain, somewhere in Qatar. I would highly recommend that you check Nayal Queen out. It's a very beautiful one. That is all I can say for now. I have some detailed reviews coming up, you know, for a lot of fragrances, you know, and decants or samples that I have, you know, gathered, you know, in the last couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. But for this festive vibes, I would highly recommend that you check Nayal Queen by Arabiyat Prestige House. And what will be of a Muslim party without a signature Rose Oud combo? And this is going to be Resala. This scent profile is quite a staple when it comes to a lot of Middle Eastern fragrance houses, because I think a lot of Middle Eastern people love the scent profile, and it's now trickling down to a lot of us who are outside the Middle East. And I, for example, appreciate the Rose Oud combo. It gives me, you know, it puts me in the mindset of an Arabian princess. You can never go wrong with that scent profile, and you are guaranteed to stand out. You know, there are so many variations of this fragrance, that, you know, Rose Oud combo with little variations here and there. There are so many variations to them, but anytime I smell it, you know, even till this day, anytime I smell it, I still really appreciate them. I love them no matter how, you know, the variation they come in. I still really love my Rose Oud combo, that Shagaf Oud Resala, Oud Mood, Bawadi, you know, that sort of vibes. I still really appreciate it, and it screams Middle Eastern. And the last fragrance I have here is going to be Ramz Gold. Ramz Gold, in my opinion, has not been super spoken about in a very positive light. People, you know, normally, including even me myself, in the past, I've said it's not like the best of fragrances. That is what I have even personally said about Ramz Gold in the past. I like this fragrance, but I think I did not really understand this fragrance that well, because it is quite Middle Eastern in nature. It's supposed to give you this, you know, a fruit bowl, apples, oranges, pineapple, smoky sort of, you know, patchouli, heavy patchouli nuances. It's a quintessential fruit chili, you know, fruits and patchouli. And it was quite hard for me to sort of, you know, get used to this fragrance, because I honestly didn't understand this fragrance. But after about a year in my collection, I really will highly strongly recommend Ramz Gold, especially if you're looking for a fruit chili that will give you a Middle Eastern vibe, you know, because it has a Middle Eastern twist to it. And I'm also recommending it for this season because it sort of gives me this sort of baked apple, you know, sort of vibes in a way. So if you want to really test Ramz Gold and be happy about it, you can get it now, spray it out, leave it out for about 6 months, you know, if you have the patience to wait. Put it away for that period to macerate, and then go back to it and let me know what you think about it. Honestly, it gives me a very unique peachy apple, pineapple vibes with a smoky nuance, with a Middle Eastern patchouli earthy touch, some sort of agarwood, a little bit of funk. You know, it is very different, so you need to really let this one sit for some time. That is all I have for you today, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next one. Ramadan Kareem.